The boy spent a long time in Florence trying to tell the rich from the poor, and slowly he realized he had been looking at it backwards his whole life. The men who looked wealthy, the fine cloaks, the loud rings, the grand gestures in the square, were almost never the ones who actually were. Many of them were drowning quietly behind the display, spending everything they had on the appearance of having more. And the men who truly held wealth? The boy kept mistaking them for ordinary people. Plain coats, quiet voices, nothing to announce. He would learn years later that one of them owned half a street he walked down every day, and he had never once suspected it. That was the discovery that reshaped how he saw everything. Real wealth is quiet, not by accident, by nature. The noise a man makes about money is almost always a sign of its absence, and the ones who have it have every reason to say nothing at all. So the boy stopped studying the loud men and began studying the silent ones, and he found that they shared a set of habits, 7 of them, so quiet and unremarkable that no one ever noticed them being practiced. That was precisely why they worked. These were not grand strategies. They were small, invisible things, done consistently by people who had no need to be seen doing them. The first habit was the simplest, and the one the boy saw broken the most. The silent wealthy say very little about money. He watched a merchant have one good season and tell the whole city about it. And the city listened. Suddenly, relatives arrived with needs. Old friends remembered debts. The tax collector took an interest, and the thieves marked his door. His good fortune, once spoken aloud, became a target for every hungry hand in Florence. Meanwhile, the truly wealthy men said nothing. You could sit beside one at a table for an hour and leave believing he was a man of modest means. They understood something the loud merchant never would. Money spoken about invites interference, and money kept quiet is left alone to grow. Silence is not secrecy for its own sake. It is protection. What no one knows about, no one can envy, borrow against, resent, or come to collect. The first wealth a man ever builds is not a coin at all. It is the discipline to keep his mouth closed. And the second habit begins before a single coin is ever spent. The second habit, the boy noticed, happened long before any money was spent. And it happened only once. He had always assumed that wealthy men were simply more disciplined than everyone else, gritting their teeth each day against every temptation the city offered. But when he watched the silent ones closely, he saw something different. They were not winning a daily battle against themselves. They had refused to fight it at all. They had made their important decisions a single time, built those decisions into the shape of their days, and then stopped deciding. Here is the second habit. The silent wealthy decide once, and then let the decision run without them. The loud man decided every single day whether to set money aside, and so every single day he could fail, and eventually he always did. The silent man decided the matter once, arranged his life so the setting aside happened on its own, and then never spent his willpower on it again. He knew that willpower is strongest the moment you make a choice, and weaker every day after, so he refused to depend on it. A decision made once and automated will quietly outperform a lifetime of good intentions, renewed each morning and abandoned each night. The third habit followed naturally from the second, and it was almost invisible. The silent wealthy keep their money out of their own sight. The boy watched 2 men earn the same wage. The first kept all of it close at hand, in easy reach, and spent it the way water finds every crack. Not through any single reckless choice, but through 100 small ones he never even noticed making. Money seen is money spent. The second man moved a portion out of reach the moment it arrived, before he could feel it there, before his mind could begin quietly counting it as available. What he could not see, he did not miss. What he did not miss, he did not spend. This is the quiet genius of it. The silent man did not resist temptation through strength. He simply arranged never to face it. He removed the coin before the wanting could begin, and so there was no battle to lose. The loud man tested his discipline every day and called it living within his means. The silent man never tested his discipline at all. He built a life where it was rarely required. Together, these first 3 habits guard what a man has. But guarding is not growing. And the 4th habit is where silent wealth quietly begins to multiply. The 4th habit was the one that separated the men who merely kept money from the men whose money grew while they slept. The boy watched what the silent wealthy actually did with a coin once they had guarded it. And it was never what he expected. The loud men, the moment they had something spare, bought things that could be seen. A finer cloak, a heavier ring, a better table for guests to admire. The silent men bought things that could not be seen at all. And that was the whole point. Here is the 4th habit. The silent wealthy buy assets and time, never appearances. When a coin was free, the silent man spent it on something that produced more coins. A share of a trade, a tool, a small piece of something that worked while he rested. Or he spent it on the most valuable thing in Florence, freedom from having to earn tomorrow. The loud man's purchases drained him a little more each month, demanding upkeep, servants, repairs. The silent man's purchases fed him. One man bought things that ate, the other bought things that fed. Over a lifetime, that single difference decided everything, and no one watching from the street could see it happening at all. The 5th habit was the quietest of them, because it made no sound and left no mark that anyone could point to. The silent wealthy never stop learning, and they do it without announcing it. The boy noticed that the richest men he studied were forever watching, reading, asking small questions, and saying little in return. They studied how money moved through the city, the way a sailor studies the wind, constantly, quietly, with no need to prove what they knew. While other men were certain they already understood everything, these men kept sharpening an invisible edge, and that edge compounded over the years exactly as coins do. Knowledge, the boy realized, is a kind of wealth that cannot be taxed, stolen, or even seen. And the men who kept gathering it always seemed to end up somewhere ahead of everyone who had stopped. This was the pattern beneath both habits. The silent wealthy invested where the returns were invisible, in things that produce, in time reclaimed, in understanding quietly gathered. They were building in directions no one thought to look, which is precisely why their wealth seemed to appear from nowhere. The 6th habit is the one almost no one has the patience to practice, and without it, the other 6 come to nothing. The 6th habit was the hardest, and the boy understood why almost no one kept it. It asks you to do nothing for a very long time while trusting something you cannot yet see. He watched a man plant a share in a young trading venture, and then, this was the rare part, simply leave it alone. He did not dig it up every season to check on it. He did not abandon it the first year it produced little, or panic and sell it the first time the market frightened everyone. He let it sit and grow and compound upon itself through years that must have felt like nothing was happening at all. And because he let time do its slow work, that quiet share eventually became something no amount of frantic effort could have built. Here is the 6th habit. The silent wealthy are patient enough to let time finish what they started. The loud men could not do this. They wanted the harvest in the same season they planted, and when it did not come, they tore everything up and started over somewhere new, again and again, forever beginning and never arriving. The silent man knew the secret they never learned. The greatest force in building wealth does not come from you at all. It comes from time, and time only rewards the man calm enough to stop interfering with it. Doing nothing at the right moment is one of the hardest and most profitable acts there is. The 7th habit was the one the boy almost missed because it looked like it had nothing to do with money at all. The silent wealthy choose a few good people quietly and keep them close. He noticed that these men did not chase crowds or collect admirers. They had no need for 100 acquaintances applauding them in the square. Instead, they kept a small circle of people they trusted completely and who trusted them. And through that quiet circle came the best opportunities, the honest advice, the deals never offered to strangers. A loud man with 1,000 cheering acquaintances stood alone when it mattered. A silent man with 5 trustworthy allies could move things no fortune could buy. Reputation built quietly. Among the right few, opened doors that noise never could. 7 habits, then. Silence, deciding once, hiding money from yourself, buying what feeds instead of what impresses, learning without ceasing, waiting without interfering, and keeping the right few close. But beneath all 7 runs a single hidden thread, and once you see it, you understand why almost no one lives this way. The boy laid the 7 habits side by side, and at last he saw the single thread running through all of them. Every one of them is silent. Not one produces applause. Not one impresses a stranger, wins an argument, or feels like a victory in the moment. Keeping quiet about money earns you nothing you can show. Deciding once and automating it is invisible. Hiding money from yourself. Buying what feeds instead of what shines. Learning without announcing it. Waiting while nothing seems to happen. Keeping a few good people close rather than a crowd. Every single habit does its work in the dark, unseen, unrewarded until years later. And that, the boy understood, is exactly why they work, and exactly why almost no one practices them. Because most people are not truly building wealth, they are performing it. They want the feeling of being rich far more than the slow, silent reality of becoming rich. And those two desires pull a man in opposite directions. The loud habits, spending to be seen, announcing every gain, chasing the crowd, harvesting early, all deliver something immediate. A flash of admiration, a moment of feeling important. The quiet habits deliver nothing now and everything later. And the human heart, left to itself, will trade a certain fortune tomorrow for a small applause today, every single time. So the real question this fable asks you is not whether you understand these 7 habits. They are simple. You understood every one of them. The question is whether you can bear to practice things that no one will ever see you practicing. Whether you can build in silence with no applause, trusting a result that will not arrive for years. Because silent wealth is built by silent acts, performed by people who no longer need to be seen. The man who can give up looking rich is the only man who ever truly becomes it. Most people will finish this, agree with all of it, and go on chasing the applause tomorrow exactly as they did today. A few will grow quiet. A few will start keeping their mouth closed, moving the coin out of sight, and letting time do its patient work while no one notices. The boy could not tell you which you will be. Only your quietest habits can. If you intend to be one of the few, then follow this boy, because every fable here teaches the one thing no one else will: how the world of money actually works. The next lesson is already waiting.